Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of i2i Live. We are here back again on a Monday night hangout. I'm trying to decide what I'm going to call this thing from now on. News discussion, Disney chat. It feels like most of those names out there for what you would call this type of show, where you just get together and just hang out for a little bit about the Disney topics. Those all been taken. So right now I'm kind of leaning on the side of a Disney hangout type of title for this. But anyway, whether you are here for the first time on our channel or you are a returner, thank you for being here tonight, live or watching on the replay. We are here tonight to just hang out for a little bit and discuss one topic that I've had on my mind particularly this week as well, which we're going to get into in just a little bit. But obviously anything is on the table to discuss tonight in terms of Disney, Marvel, Star Wars news and discussion, or just life stuff as well, whatever you guys want to talk about, really. This was intended to be a more informal show. We started doing live shows on Thursday nights, and then we switched those to trivia nights, and now that's taken over that, I felt the need to have another night to just kind of get together and talk about Disney stuff. And just to be a little less informal and things like that. But anyway, we're here, and I'm glad that some of you are here already as well. Leonard, thank you for being here. I haven't seen you on trivia nights in a while, so thank you for being here. Alex even says, "What up, Kyle?" What up, Alex? Thanks for being here. We missed you on trivia night. Were you there? I can't remember. I cannot remember for the life of me. But let's see who else is here. He says, "Call it Monday Night Football." That's already taken, Leonard. Juan says, "Save Mr. Banks." Wait a minute, today is not Thursday. It's coming up though, my friend. You have been waiting for the perfect day to say that, and it's coming up very soon. Sadly, however, I don't think that's going to be Disney trivia night tonight this week, just because for some scheduling things that we've got going on. So that's the big thing that I want to make sure I announce right away here at the beginning. On Monday nights, when we're here and able to do this, we will announce the theme for trivia night live right here. So those of you that watch this live or on the replay are going to get the benefit of knowing what to study for coming up. And most of the time it'll be pretty obvious what it is, but sometimes it may not be so obvious. So in just a little while, we will announce what the theme for trivia night will be tonight. A couple other things I want to remind you of, if you could be so kind to do so, if you would make sure you smash that like button. And the other thing is, if you want to invite friends on social media or tag someone in this video, I will say that if we get above 10 live viewers tonight at one time, I will, not that I don't know that anybody will utilize it, but I have a unique feature we could do to give a little bit more interactivity for those of you that might like to do something like that. So if we get above 10 viewers, we'll utilize it tonight, but only then. So anyway, Leonard says it's a great movie, talking about Saving Mr. Banks. It absolutely is. It is one of my favorite movies that I've seen come out from Disney in quite some time, just because it tells a story that it feels a little bit fictional, but it's still about a true story as well. So that's why I really like Saving Mr. Banks, and one day we'll make a trivia night about it, but don't think it's going to be this year, especially since it's lining up with something else going on right now. Countdown is 4 days for me. Are you talking about Saving Mr. Banks, or are you talking about Star Wars? Because that's a little early for Star Wars. Or are you talking about countdown for Disney World? Ooh, I'm super jealous if you are already on a countdown for Disney World. That makes me very jealous of you, sir, indeed. We can talk a little bit about that as well as if you want to tonight. But let's discuss this first. So what I thought would be a very pertinent topic to discuss tonight would be, obviously, well, not, and there you go, you got the hint at what it was going to be. This is what happens when Kyle doesn't learn the things. Our weekly Disney Hangout, Rise of the Resistance tonight is what I thought we would discuss on the broadcast tonight for just a little while. And obviously anything else is play, but we're not going to get into a lot of the spoiler territory tonight, because I know, as Leonard has just revealed to us, that he is about to go and experience it for himself in 4 days on Sunday, my friend. why do you do this to us? Why do you make us jealous of you? That's pretty awesome right there. Rise of the Resistance looks amazing, Juan says. Juan, have you ridden it yourself, or are you just watching stuff online? Because I think most of us are not going to have ridden it yet, but we can obviously take a lot of impressions and things like that from it as we go along. Alex says, I've been getting busy lately, and that's why I haven't been on trivia night. I'm looking at college for next year. Hey, man, we all understand that for real. By the way, I love your little pic there as your profile with the Death Star and E.T. combined in there. Is that Yoda in there, babe? Oh, it's Darth. I can't tell right here what that is. But anyway, yeah, so I understand it, man. I really do. I'm glad that you were able to win the first round of that. The second round is about to wrap up. And I've already kind of planned out next year's breakdown of things for a lot of it. So I'm pretty excited for Disney Trivia Night the next year. It's going to be pretty fun. I mean, not a lot's going to change, but I've got some things planned out that are going to be really nice there. But I'm angry at the AT-ATs don't move and don't try to stomp on you. Yeah, if they had pulled that off that would have been pretty amazing. But it's a hard feat to pull off, that something goes wrong and they actually do squish the guest. I know that's really realistic and all that, but do we really want that to have to happen in a Disney attraction? Not me. Especially not if I'm the one they stomp on. Linda says, no spoilers. Yeah, so I have not seen it. I've been tempted enough that I've given into that temptation to look at some things, but I have not watched a full ride through. So I have enough of context to maybe talk a little bit about what we do know, because, I mean, let's be honest, we've all seen pictures even before the ride opened up. But I do think there's some things that we can kind of discuss tonight, because I've just seen a few things that I thought would be interesting. He says that he hasn't watched anything as well. I watched all the videos online. I have to wait till January 17th. Oh my goodness. Look, so Leonard's going to be doing his in 4 days. You're going to be doing yours in just over a month. Alex, are you going to Disney World anytime soon to do this? Because it sounds like all three of you that are here right now chatting with me are going to be able to do this before I get to do it. Jessica and I don't have any solid plans at this moment for when we're going to go back to Disney World. I would say this, that we both have already expressed that we're going back. I mean, I think when we have a Disney YouTube channel, that's pretty obvious that we're planning on going back. But, we don't have a solid plan. The last 2 years I've done a solo trip where I didn't go into the parks, but I did go and do some resort hopping, Disney Springs time and stuff like that, which have been really good, I think, personally, for me. But we'll see what I get into this year. There's a lot of options for me to go to Disney World this year. We just got to figure out financially and what makes the most sense for us. But I'm jealous that you're going to be experiencing it very, very soon here. Again, if you guys, reminder, if you want to try to get us by sharing this out and smashing that like button, all that good stuff, if we get to 10 viewers tonight, I will implement something in the show that adds a little bit of interactivity that you might be interested in doing, you might not. I know I keep teasing it, but I do want to make sure we get up there a little bit higher before I announce it, as the kind of the motivation to get us there. Alex says, I think the ride looks amazing. Have not seen any videos of the other YouTubers going on it. So yeah, like I haven't seen YouTube videos of it, but I've watched some social media personalities and some things that they've shared about it. And so some of it was on ride stuff, some of it wasn't. But it looks great from what I've seen so far, but I don't want to watch too much. And I think you all understand that. But I have seen the other bloggers' opinions. So I think that's one thing too. I was actually just listening to a podcast right before I got here, about their non-spoiler opinions of it. And it's kind of what I thought this podcaster was going to say, but it's nice to kind of at least hear someone talk about it in a very safe manner, so nothing's really spoiled for you. But yeah. Let's see. Next trip is May 29th after this one. So you've already got 2 trips planned for this. See, I don't even have 1 trip planned. So Jessica and I think, have made the commitment that we have got to get through the Christmas season this year. As most of you know, we talked about it last week on the live show here on Monday nights, that we just got back from a trip from Walt Disney World, and it wasn't the most ideal time for us to go, but that's when all of our family schedules could line up. And it's kind of put us in a little bind in terms of schedules and stuff like that. And Christmas is right around the corner. It's crazy. You saying sorry because I'm not going to be there soon? Yeah, I mean, I'm just jealous of you not being able to be there soon. So as soon as you guys. So I would say this, probably by the fall I will have ridden it, but it doesn't look like that'll happen before then because we're not annual pass holders. We're not. We don't have a set date yet, but you never know. Might take a solo trip this late winter, meaning like February or something like that. We might take a trip this summer, and there is another potential possibility for me to at least go down there into the Orlando and Disney World vicinity in Thanksgiving next year as well, but we'll have to see what happens here. Disneyland is the next plan in the fall for next year. Leonard, I want to just be part of your family. You're going to Disney World twice, and in the fall next year too, so I'm guessing you mean the fall of this coming 2020 as well. So you're going to Disney World twice and Disneyland. I just want to be part of your family now because we're just getting enough in at one time this year. But anyway, so the Rise of the Resistance ride, I think a couple of the aspects that we can talk about together that are not spoiler filled. What do you guys think about the queue system? And I don't necessarily mean walking through it, and I know some of us have seen the queue, but what do you think about the queue? What is it called? The boarding groups. Most of us know now that when you get into the park, you are able to go onto the Disney app and join a boarding group for the Rise of the Resistance. And then it tells you when to come back. So it's kind of like a come back time and then come wait in the queue. Excuse me. I like the idea of this a lot. I think that it helps with the overall, what do you call it? The not creating long lines, keeping the element of the story there, so there's not a lot of that going on. A lot of people just waiting around in line. That's when you go in, your story actually kind of begins, and it's not like it stops while you're waiting for the line to keep moving forward. I don't know that's exactly how it happened, but that's my concept. I don't like talking about this other park on this show, but if I will, to use as an example, it reminds me a lot of the Jimmy Fallon ride at Universal Studios, not Islands of Adventure. If you haven't been there, if you have, you know that they do a similar thing where they give you like a card to come back or to wait around with, and we didn't have to wait long, but you can like hang out in this building or come back and at this certain time, and then they tell you, hey, you're supposed to be here in this group at this time. So I think it's really good. From that aspect in terms of trying to manage crowds and things like that. I think the boarding groups are absolutely fantastic, and he thinks it's a great business plan. Yeah, I think on paper it looks good. It seems like it's going to work really well for them over time, but there have been the problems of them running out very, very, very quickly. So what's your opinions about that? Do you think that it's very hard? It's hard to judge these boarding groups right now because we don't know exactly once the initial rush is over of everybody trying to do it first thing every day. And I know that doesn't subside for probably the next 2 or 3 years, but will the boarding groups not run out by the first hour or two in the park? And the first hour at this point is like 6 a.m. because they're opening it up even more now. Let's see. I'm trying to see here what you guys are saying. Allowing people to go spend money, shopping and spending money. Yeah, from a business aspect, it's a great thing. You keep them doing other things except standing in a line. And it's a guest satisfier. It's a business satisfier. So it's a brilliant move. I would hate to bank my trip on going to the Rise of Resistance, and for those people that aren't planners and they're not early risers, and then you get there expecting to get one of these boarding groups and you don't, then what's the payoff? You waited this entire time for this thing, but it doesn't come to fruition. So I was, discouraged when I saw that was happening there. Universal's watching and should have done their last ride the same way. Well, there's a constant give and take on the whole Universal competition aspect of it, because, they're as much as I don't like having them there, they're good to have there because they are providing a reason for Disney to keep upping their game. And every time Universal moves a chess piece, so does Disney, kind of thing. Which is why, and this is kind of a tangent for a second here. Let me take a sip here. I think, personally, maybe not a fifth gate for Disney announcement coming soon, but maybe how do you say, something big. And I hope it's a fifth gate, meaning a fifth theme park. But with their announcement of their third, it wouldn't shock me in the least if in the next year or by the next D23 we're getting an announcement of another theme park at Walt Disney World. There's the room for it. It's a matter if they want to do it or not. Leonard says, so I'm planning a 6:30 arrival, and I've seen a 5:30 to 10. It runs out. A 9:30 to 10. It runs out. So yeah, I guess there is some time there as long as you get there within the first, hour. I'll tell you this, Leonard. If you're going to be there in the next 4 days, if it opens at 6, I'd be there at 5:30. I'm just saying, it's crazy. 10-hour wait is ridiculous. So is that the 10-hour wait for once you get your boarding group? You have to wait in the park, or and I guess that's another question too, is do you have to wait in the park? Can you leave the park and come back? Because if you leave, does your boarding group go away? I don't know all these things. Leonard also says a fifth gate is coming. Do you know this for a fact, or are you just thinking the same thing that I am? There's this lonely space. So here, let me give you a perspective. At this moment, it doesn't look like we're going to reach our 10 viewers at the same time, but we'll just kind of keep hanging out as normal. And the next week when we do this, maybe we'll get that 10 viewers at the same time. The other thing is too, is if this is not a great time for a lot of people, we can obviously look at moving it around, but we'll just have to see. So let's think about this. I'm going to draw a map for you guys right here, a virtual map, not like, this, but like, let's just imagine it this way. Hollywood Studios, and I hope this is mirrored correctly on the video, is right here. Epcot is right here. It's actually backwards. Okay, let's do this on the camera here. So Hollywood Studios and Epcot are on this section of Walt Disney property. If the whole screen is Walt Disney World property. Animal Kingdom is over here by itself. Magic Kingdom is like up here by itself. Now there's the main passageways right here in the middle. I feel like I'm blessing someone right now, but there's like a main structure of T's. There are other roads as well, but T's that run through the middle, and then there are resorts over here, but there's this section, get the right here above Animal Kingdom. If this entire thing is screen, that is prime to be developed for a fifth theme park. It's coming. I promise you. I know it is. Anyway, no, the wait for the last ride Universal did at opening day was 10 hours. Was it for that Hagrid's thing? I'm not a Harry Potter fan, so that doesn't really excite me in any way. But there it is. I'm just not a Harry Potter fan. I know that some people are going to hate me for that, so I would definitely not wait. I wouldn't wait 1 hour for a Harry Potter ride. I wouldn't. So I definitely wouldn't rate 10 hours. Anyway, let's come back to Rise of Resistance things. And at any point, if you guys want to discuss anything besides Rise of Resistance, we can obviously talk about that here. But let's, I kind of want to stay here for a moment. So we talked about the queue. We talked about the problems of them running out. Now, I will commend Disney for doing something very, very, I think this, to the nth degree, is the Disney touch right here. My understanding, and I guess Leonard or anybody else who knows can correct me if I'm wrong, but my understanding is that if you are promised a boarding group on the app and it is not able to be fulfilled because of whatever reason, a lot of it's been because of wait times, a lot of it has been because of breakdowns and things like that, you were given a park hopper, a one-day park hopper, as a compensation for being promised this and not being able to fill it. Now, I know that for a lot of people's schedules when they're at Disney World, they may not have time to fit in an extra day of park hopping. But, I mean, Disney went above and beyond by doing that for these people last time. It kind of made me start thinking. I was like, so should I go in at the latest possible time when I'm there, if I was able to go early enough, and get a late boarding group and just hope it breaks down and see if I get like a free park hopper out of it? That'd be pretty awesome to see if you could pull that off. I doubt it would end up working out because I don't think they're going to do that for much longer because they're going to get the kinks ironed out of it. They're going to get a lot of the other problems that they have worked out. But hey, all that being said, kudos to Disney for stepping up and taking care of their guests in a fine fashion with offering up that park hopper pass to make up for their time. Leonard is confirming, says yes, that's what's going on in terms of doing that. Yes, and I do agree that you're playing the odds. Never tell me the odds, my friend. Never tell me the odds. But that being said, with any ride or attraction, there are things that have to be worked out. And that's why a lot of times these have soft openings. If I'm correct in understanding, it soft opened on the 4th and it officially opened on the 5th. We were actually there the week before, and we're kind of hoping the soft openings would begin before that. Every time we were in Galaxy's Edge, I would go up to one of the, I'm not going to call them cast members, residents of Galaxy's Edge that happened to be, stationed working over there next to this location. I'm not going to call it an attraction. And ask them, is there any chance we might catch any flights out of here this week? And she would answer promptly back, no, sir, we are not taking any visitors into this section of our some version of trying to keep the illusion up there. So we were unable to see it, and it's frustrating that it happened a week after we were there. That was like the most frustrating thing, is that we literally could have if we had scheduled our trip when we had kind of wanted to, and if everybody had scheduled a line for our family, we would have been on Rise of the Resistance right now, because I think we would be going, originally we had planned to go this next week, and look, we would have been there at the same time as Leonard probably. That all would have worked out. But Rise of the Resistance, it has had its problems, just like the Skyliner did, but they're going to get them worked out. And from everything that I'm being told, this is the ultimate Disney attraction. And I don't want to call it a ride solely, because I think that sells something like this short. I think it doesn't set it up for best description, because from the few videos that I've watched, with not the full experience, but from the descriptions that we've had beforehand and now, my understanding is that this is not just a ride, it is an experience. And from what I'm able to piece together, it almost sounds like if they put together the interactive stuff that they tried with that Captain Jack Sparrow experience in Hollywood Studios for a short time, a trackless a Ratatouille ride that's coming to Epcot, mind you. I'm just trying to think of everything that you could combine. The experience of Pandora. It seems like they've taken some of the best elements that they've experimented with and have done in certain tracks and try to combine it into one experience that is 18 minutes long. Wow, that is quite an attraction. So anything else or for those of you that are watching right now, and those of you that are about to ride this soon, what are you anticipating from it? What are you expecting to see or hear, smell? I think it's all part of the experience. Leonard, what about you? What are your anticipations? Are they so high that you don't think they can be met. I would hope not, because I'd hate for you to be disappointed. But I think the problem is going to be after this, if Disney has knocked out the Rise of the Resistance the way we think they have, it's going to be hard to top it. Or we can look at it the other way and look at the glass half full and say, if they can do this, what else are they going to be able to do in the future? When they pulled off Flight of Passage at Pandora, I mean, everybody was just like, oh, they'll never do anything better. Little did you know, 2 years later, 2 years later, we'd be talking about the rise of the Resistance and its dominance in that case. So yeah, that's my general thoughts that I had about the Rise of the Resistance tonight. Obviously, we can come back to that. But if there's anything else in the Disney topical discussion news that you would like to talk about tonight, share it there in the chat window. Some of the things that are on my mind, obviously, are Christmas and things that go into Disney with that. Jessica and I have been trying to get done with our Disney Christmas ornaments video for you guys. We actually, here's the funny thing, is that we filmed the initial setup of the tree 3 weeks ago, and we have not had any time to put up our Disney ornaments. Everything else is ready except the Disney ornaments. We just have not had any time whatsoever. So that video is coming. It's just taking us a lot of time to get there. But while you guys are thinking about maybe some other topics you want to discuss tonight, let me go ahead and officially announce what Disney Trivia Night is going to be this week with our last couple of minutes here tonight. And drum roll, please. If I had a drummer. There's no one in here, so no drum roll. Officially, for Disney Trivia Night, your theme is Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. I know, shocker, everybody in the room is like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that was coming, Kyle. But it's a little early than what we were wanting to do that. Obviously, we typically like to do them right before a movie comes out. And again, we haven't seen it either. So this will be spoiler free, but it'll be things that you can pick up on that we know about the movie before we go see it. But we feel like it was a good use of time there. So the reason we are bumping it up a week ahead is that Jessica and I will be seeing the movie the next Thursday. So typically we'll see the movie on Fridays when they come out, but we are so excited about it that we are ready to see it, and we bought tickets for the Thursday night. Not midnight, but like I think we're going at 7 or 8 or something like that. So we will go ahead and do trivia night for The Rise of Skywalker this week, and then we will not have a trivia night the next week, and then we'll reassess the next week with the holiday season. So we're really winding down, and as already alluded to, we have got some good, big plans for it next year, so I hope everybody can join us there on Disney Trivia Night. So while we're winding down, this is your last chance to get in rapid fire comments, questions, anything like that you want to be addressed tonight. A couple things that I want to remind you of while you're here tonight, that we do have ways that you can support this channel. One of those is just being here hanging out with us, which I really appreciate those of you that chose to do so tonight, live or on the replay. But another thing that you can do, and this, what I'm about to show you is a little incorrect, so let me specify. But we do have a TeePublic sale going on. It is not 35%, it is 30% off on t-shirts. You can go to TeePublic/i2i Disney, and that is a way there you can buy some Disney apparel for yourself. But you could also help support this channel by buying a t-shirt there too. And then if you have not done so as well, we do have a Facebook group where we'd love for you to join and hang out with us. It's called Disney Through Your Eyes. Come over there and hang out with us, talk about Disney, Marvel, and Star Wars stuff. And then be checking out the channel for all the good stuff we have coming out for you this week. Maybe a trip report. May not get to that this week, but definitely The Mandalorian Chapter 6 review will be coming out on Friday. And who knows what else we'll get it to you at this point. But Trivia Night on Thursday, Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, and The Mandalorian Chapter 6 review with spoilers coming out on Friday. Don't miss that. We hope that you'll take a look at that over there. And again, I would appreciate everybody who has been here tonight on the live, whether you're watching it live or watching on the replay. I hope that you guys can join me next Monday night when we do this again. And if you guys would like it earlier, later, or another time, a good time that would be for to be here, just let me know, and we'll see how we can accommodate. But we're trying to pull it off on Monday nights because it seems to work well with our schedule. But this is a fluid show that we're trying to implement, and we're hoping we can get this set up for you guys the best way possible. Thank you again for watching. Until we assemble again, may the force be with you, and we'll see you real soon. Bye.